What, ready?
Hello!
Oh, you can do the intro.
You said hello.
Oh, alright. Hello.
Hello.
You're not going to say hello, Ethan?
Hello.
Quite a bit rude, ain't it?
Yeah, it's well rude, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what episode this is.
6.
Cool, he's good, isn't he?
I think it's 6, I'm not sure.
Welcome to episode 6 of Not on the Big Screen.
Whoop whoop.
Woo woo.
Woo woo.
Insert the intro. There.
No, I'll do it in about 5 seconds. Now do it.
Okay, we'll do that then.
Sweet.
Make it different from last time. You're good, aren't you? It's going to be a bit different today because we haven't got notes, we haven't got lists. So it's exciting, isn't it? No lists. We're not reading off lists today. Today we are going to be talking about David Fincher, mainly talking about Fight Club versus Gone Girl.
Very different films.
Very different films, but
Very
there
different.
are some ways that we can compare the two.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to say that there's definitely going to be spoilers, big spoilers for both of these films throughout this podcast because we're literally going to be hopefully ripping these to shreds in a positive way.
We've literally just sat down and watched Gone Girl before this, so we're talking like we probably sort of finished watching it about a minute ago. And we we fired up the camera and thought, right, we got to talk about it. So
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen Fight Club or Gone Girl, maybe don't listen to this podcast.
If you don't give a shit, don't watch it.
What?
If you don't give a shit about getting spoiled, then watch the podcast, ain't it?
yeah, but you just said if you don't give a shit, then don't watch it.
No, did I?
We're
No,
not
I
talking-
didn't.
we're not
Yes, you
talking about
did,
it.
mate. There's literally video evidence of you saying if you don't care, don't watch it.
I'll rewind it. and
No,
play it
I
again.
said if you don't care about spoilers, watch it.
No.
We've got some chocolate M&Ms today to get everyone excited and high on sugar, although I think Harry's still full up from eating pancakes. Although he's got pizza later, so
No, ain't nothing, mate.
going to open John a chocolate M&M.
Ooh, you're asking a lot there.
There you go. Right, so thanks for watching.
Right, carry on.
If you could like this video. No, don't know where to start. I
Yeah.
think we should start with David Fincher.
Okay.
Just the guy in general.
He's a
He's
director.
a director.
Is it?
He started with Alien 3, which is probably one of the least popular Alien films out of the Alien franchise, but it's one of my favourites out of all of them. I don't know if you guys have. You guys probably haven't seen Alien 3.
No, the only ones I ain't watched is 3 and 4.
Well, that's a good start. Yeah, he nearly quit directing just from doing Alien 3. I'm pretty sure he left several times during Alien 3 because everything went really badly and not the way he wanted. But then he made 7 and everyone fell in love with him. But we're not talking about that. So fast forward to a few years later, after making 7 and the game, he then made Fight Club, which these boys saw for the first time on the 20th anniversary
Yeah,
at the cinema.
yeah, we did.
So I was almost gutted that I didn't get to see it with Ethan as well as with Harry, but you know, I was busy at home doing nothing. So yeah, where to begin with Fight Club?
Where do you begin with Fight Club?
The
Opinions?
credits.
Ethan, you said the film felt like it was about 4 hours long.
Yeah. I sat there. Like obviously, it just felt long, but like I wasn't bored because I knew I kind of knew what was going on as the film was going on.
Yeah.
So, but it was one of those films where it was long, but I was like enjoying myself. But it's not like one of those films where like you think this is just too long, and then you end up just like being bored.
Yeah.
So,
See, did you know about the twist?
I kind of figured it out halfway through the film.
Right. Because Harry knew about the twist before he saw the film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
I imagine
didn't.
watching the film for Harry would have been a different experience.
Cool,
than it
watching the
would
film
have
was actually well exciting. Like that. It was actually really fun watching it like that, knowing the twist. Because
Yeah.
I was just picking up on stuff, that was really fun.
I think watching Fight Club in the cinema, it was nice to not be concerned about turning the volume down, because it's one of those films that gets really loud and then it's really quiet and then it gets really loud, so you have to keep turning it up and down when you watch it at home. But I didn't. There were parts when I was in the cinema where I went to turn it down, and then I realised I was in the cinema, and I was like, oh, I don't have to. I can watch it as loud as I like. So that was nice. Bit of cool information for you guys there. Do you want another M&M?
Go for it.
The film itself was very interesting. As like I said, like the start of it felt like I was about to watch a science video. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was it was actually a film where I quite liked Edward Norton.
It's rare.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's pretty decent.
It is my favourite Ed Norton performance.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Primal Fear though, have you?
No.
You should see
I
Primal Fear.
didn't even know he was in that.
Primal Fear is Edward Norton's first film.
Oh.
He got nominated for Best Supporting Actor in this film as well.
My favourite is The Incredible.
I watched it yesterday. Not for the first time, I've seen it before. Right. What was I going to say?
Don't know. You talk about Primal Fear.
So you talking about the beginning of Fight Club. Did you notice? Well, I guess the question more goes to both of you here. You probably knew about it, Harry, because you're
What, the flashes?
sad. Did you notice Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Did you notice him flashing up on the screen?
Yeah.
Did you notice all of them?
Yeah.
Do you know where they all are?
I can't remember, but I suppose if you put it on, I'd see. I can't pinpoint them in my brain, but
Yeah, I've only seen the film once. I know where they are, but I couldn't pinpoint you what specific scenes they were.
yeah.
I don't know why it happens. I know where they all are. If I was watching it, I could be like.
I know.
that's where
There's
it's coming
one
up.
in the when they're in the meeting.
Yeah,
There's one that he flashes behind someone. I
yeah,
think.
that's one of the really obvious ones.
Yeah, that's the only one I can remember.
There's,
Where I can
I think
pinpoint
one
it
of
to a
the
scene.
one of the most obvious ones is when you see after one of the meetings, you can see Marla Singer walking away from the camera, and the camera focuses on her, and then he flashes in front of it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the most obvious one. Well, actually, saying that, the most obvious one is him on the escalator going past him on the other side. Which, to be fair, wasn't the thing, was it? I don't know. Was it? That's one of the confusing parts of the film. To be fair, like there are several moments in Fight Club where I'm just like, so people who have seen Fight Club obviously know that Tyler and the narrator are the same person.
Yeah.
He's known as the narrator.
Yeah, he doesn't
I
have
like to be referred to him as Jack, but because he always refers to himself as Jack.
Yeah.
But we'll just call him the narrator because people might get upset. But there are moments where you see them having conversations in front of other people. And
Yeah.
You're just like, wouldn't they say something? They don't really react to it and stuff like that. Especially the scene in the car. When they have like a really long conversation in the car, and the two of them are like responding to them both as well,
Yeah.
and it's just like, is this just done to try and hide the ending a bit more?
There was one scene that I looked at. It was nearer the end. Well, I say nearer the end, but he's in this hotel room. I think it's literally when he finds out that they're both the same person, and he still sees him. But he's sat down on a chair, and Edward Norton is sat down on the bed. And they're talking to each other, but they're not actually looking at each other. Do you know what I mean? I think Edward Norton's looking in a completely different. Well, he's looking straight, but Brad Pitt is to the right of him. I don't know. I found that kind of cool, but I don't know what it'd mean. But it just.
I bet that's done on purpose.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he disappears out of the frame as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
For some of it, even though he's still speaking, although he's not there.
Yeah.
I think one of my moments that I find amusing in Fight Club is where you get the scene at the very beginning where Tyler's got the gun in the narrator's mouth.
Yeah.
And he says, have you got anything to say to mark this occasion? And he says, I can't think of anything. And then at the end, they repeat that scene. And when he says the line again, he says, I still can't think of anything. And then Tyler even comments on it because he's like, flashback humour.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant. I don't know why, but it's almost like they're both aware that they're inside a story kind of thing.
Yeah.
Almost like breaking the fourth wall, but
Yeah.
not at the
Not
same
very
time.
directly.
Yeah, the film does break the fourth wall indirectly a few times.
Yeah.
Well, there's that one bit where he looks at the camera and it like shakes, and you see the film
Yeah, you got that.
like burning out.
Obviously, the tyre flashings are kind of fourth wall breaking.
That is. I don't know if you guys have read the book, but the whole
There's a
book.
book.
Yeah, the book. The whole. I've only read half of it so far, but literally everything so far is all. It literally feels like Tyler is talking to you all the way through the book, and you've got a lot of this I am this and I am this, like he does all the way through the film when he's just like, oh, I am Jack's smirking revenge, or I am Jack's this, or I am Jack's pain, or whatever. They do that all the way through the book, so it was nice to see that how closely the film follows the book, but I don't know how the film.
David Fincher is a kind of director. I think if he was going to do an adaptation of a book, he would follow it very closely.
Well, yeah. Well, when we move on to Gone Girl, I
Yeah,
can tell you a
exactly.
bit more about that as well.
But he's not. It wouldn't surprise me if he would have the source material for it to Pristine, because he's just that kind of director.
I did hear while I was watching Fight Club at home this year. You spilling M&Ms?
Hi.
There's the whole thing between Brad Pitt and Helena Bonham Carter. Brad, what's his name? David Fincher had them both record noises of each other of them having sex for like 3 days. They were just recording different moaning sounds and different pounding noises and stuff like that. Apparently, Brad Pitt wearing a rubber glove got the biggest laugh in the cinema when it was first out as well. It was Brad Pitt's idea to have a rubber glove on, and they wanted to get rid of it, but they kept it in because the audience found it funny. And the line where Helena Bonham Carter says, "I've not been fucked like that since grade school," was a lot tamer. But Fox made them change it because they didn't like what they originally said, so they changed it for something worse.
What did they originally say?
I don't know. I can't remember what they originally said. I mean, I could look it up, but we'll be here all day.
It was a very interesting mindfucky film.
Was it your
Very
first
nice, but-
experience of David Fincher?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Was it your first?
I don't know. I'm really trying to remember. I can't remember if I've seen Seven or not. I can't remember.
You'd remember if you'd seen Seven.
That's the thing. People keep telling me that, but I feel like I've watched it. But I mean, I was planning to rewatch it again soon anyway because the 4K. So
When it's out.
yeah, so it is on the rewatch or the first watch. I don't know. I truly don't know because I always thought, yeah, I've seen Seven, and then people keep questioning like, have I? I truly don't remember.
There are a lot of things that happen in Seven that I think would stay with you for a while if you'd seen it.
Is it that traumatic?
Yeah.
There were certain scenes / certain insinuations in that film that you probably wouldn't forget about if you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm happy to watch it.
I mean, without trying to ruin it for you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If I haven't, then Fight Club is a good first Fincher film, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't find it hard to follow either.
No.
Like the Fight Club was like very. I don't know. I'm a bit of a dick when it comes to watching films. Like I'll just like have to continue talking all the way through. I'm one of those kind of people. But no, I was probably enticed in this film, and I as I say, it was really interesting. I couldn't take my eyes off it
Yeah.
pretty much. But no, it was very easy to follow, especially for people like me. So
I found it interesting how the film was resubmitted to the BBFC and reclassified as a 15. Yet it was still the uncut version, considering when it first came out in '99, it was an 18 and it had to be cut down in order to make it an 18 because of 2 of the scenes.
times changed, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things I was looking out for when I saw it in the cinema. When I saw the 15 version, I just did quote marks, but no one can see that. When I saw the 15 version in the cinema, I was looking out at those 2 scenes to see if they were cut down, but they were still the uncut versions. Although I'm pretty sure the uncut version's pretty much worldwide now. So even on Disney Plus, it's uncut. So
Probably just got re-rated. It's 15. It's not that wasn't that bad.
No, it's quite.
What was
it's
it?
not now.
No, exactly. It's probably 15.
Yeah,
Back in
I
them
think-
days, yeah, definitely an 18.
I feel like the world has become slightly desensitised to things like that now. That's why you can probably get away with heavier violence in a 15 now
Yeah.
than you would have been able to back in those days.
Yeah.
Do you know one thing I did like is I found out this is like a kind of this is a spoiler kind of, but like when he shoots himself in the face at the end. I did just tell them. I did just say this is a spoiler.
That's all right. We did mention that.
When he like shoots himself, I found like in the behind the scenes thing, what they did, they like got like an air machine and like they made his cheeks go like out, and obviously he was sat behind a green screen, so that obviously helped a little bit. But like yeah, like they blew
Like
the
reverse Hoover.
Yeah, so like when he obviously shot the gun, they like put the fucking air thing, like made his cheeks flab like they would in the film. But what I don't get is how does a man survive that?
Well, from the looks of things, he shot himself like sort of there.
Yeah, but
No, it's bollocks.
I know,
I
but
always think that, but it's got to be bollocks.
because
There's got to be something else behind
because
it.
Brad Pitt died, so why didn't he?
well, the insinuation is if there was no bullet in the gun, he believes he's got a bullet in there, so he's shooting him. So it's his imagination killing him.
But that's
Because
it.
Brad Pitt ain't real.
The thing
Yeah.
is, if you're looking at it that deeply, if Tyler is in his head and Tyler knows what he is thinking, then Tyler would have known that he was shooting himself in a way that he wouldn't die.
Yeah.
So in theory, it wouldn't have killed him. So yeah, can't really explain that.
No.
I'm very interested to see if that's explained in the book or if that's done differently in the book.
Yeah.
What
Because the book doesn't start at the end like
Yeah.
the film does.
What exactly is their overall goal in the film, though? That's one thing I didn't quite get when they were blowing up all those places.
There's something to do with finances. I think it was just
Yeah.
about break money. Something to do with money. It was like,
It was to reset the system so everyone went back to zero.
Right. Okay.
And
I couldn't
create chaos. Why
Yeah.
they'd want to create chaos in the first place, I don't know, but that's kind of their thing, isn't it?
yeah.
It's like when he's like, "Oh, you got to start a fight with someone and you have to lose."
Mm.
I just got up to the part in the book where the narrator beats himself up in front of his boss, which is one of the greater moments in the film. But
Yeah.
it's for a completely different reason in the book,
Yeah.
which was a bit strange because he doesn't do the homework assignment, or he hasn't at that point in the book anyway.
Right.
It's all to do with him splicing porn into films, and they want to fire him, and he's like, "Well, you can't fire me. You can pay me instead." I don't know. I was trying to charge my phone at the time, so I was a little bit not concentrating on what I was reading. But what about? Do you know anything about any obsessive stuff behind David Fincher and Fight Club?
What?
So you know about David Fincher being an obsessive director.
Yeah.
He's very good at shooting stuff more than once,
Yeah. I know that.
which again I'll probably bring up when we get to Gone Girl, because there's a few things I know about some of the obsessive parts of that film. The only thing I know about Fight Club is David Fincher told Edward Norton to actually punch Brad Pitt the first time he hit him when he punched him in the ear. He also got Edward Norton and Brad Pitt really drunk just before they shot the scene when they're smacking golf balls into nowhere. I don't know why. I don't know why they had to be pissed for that. Maybe it was to get Brad Pitt's strange little laugh out there.
Yeah.
And I know that the first conversation they have in the bar just before he asks if he can live with him, they shot that over a few days, and they ad-libbed the scene each time, and then they just picked the best bits from the ad-libbing while they were.
Yeah.
That's one of the best lines in the film for me though, when Brad Pitt says it could be worse. A woman could cut off your penis while you're sleeping and chuck it out the window of a moving car. And then Edward Norton's just like, no, there's always that. I don't know why I always find that funny, but that makes me laugh every time.
The film was more funny than I thought it'd be.
Yeah,
It's a funny film.
I don't
In
know
a
why.
weird, dark
Yeah.
sense.
And
Same
it's
with
funny on
Gone Girl,
purpose.
I don't think Gone Girl's as intentional as Fight Club though.
No, but like there were parts from me and you laughed
Yeah.
at Gone Girl, and like, you know, because
Oh, yeah, even in the cinema, there were parts where people in
Yeah.
the cinema were laughing.
Yeah.
Gone Girl just felt like another Salt burn.
Is that just because of Rosamund Pike?
No, but no, I don't know. It's just a really weird like film. Very well orchestrated, but like just I don't know. We'll get onto that in a minute.
She's so incredible in that film.
Yeah. She really plays off the sweet and innocent to psychopath.
Yeah, and that whole moment where she goes from
We
being
move on to-
normal and then she dips her pajamas in a
Yeah.
glass of red wine and then just starts screaming and bawling her eyes out at the camera in the sake of like 5 seconds.
She's not getting an Oscar for that.
I'm pretty sure she was nominated for an Oscar for
That
the
doesn't
role.
surprise me.
I believe she was nominated. I don't know who
I
won.
don't
that
think she won.
yet. No, she didn't win.
When did it
I
come
love
up?
how we've swiftly moved on to Gone Girl, but it's
I
fine.
actually can't remember.
It's about both of them, so you guys have just seen Gone Girl.
Yeah. It's a bit more fresh in the
What are
mind.
your thoughts coming out of it? Did you have stuff that you didn't think made sense?
It made sense.
I mean, we'll go over that in a sec. But
We just
2014 Gone Girl was.
Yeah.
14. I'm good at this, aren't
I think there's.
I should watch films for a living.
I think every time I watch that film, I always have issues with the ending.
Why?
Because firstly, it annoys me that he stays with her
Yeah.
after everything she did.
But I feel like he can't leave.
Yeah, I get that he wants to stay there for the child, but it did annoy me. But also, like the whole scene in the hospital. There were even parts of that scene today where I thought I'd never thought of that before. But the whole scene in the hospital where she's telling them what happened and how Desi supposedly kidnapped her.
Yeah.
There's so much that they just overlook, and they're just like, oh well, she's back and she's okay, and they don't really take the other side of the story into consideration. Even when Ben Affleck says to one of the policemen, like, how did she get a box cutter when she was tied to a bed? And he just ignores him and says, can't you be happy that your wife's home and safe? But one of the biggest things that dawned on me today that they should have looked into, what they would have looked into, was the fact that she claimed that Desi knocked her out with this club, yet she didn't have any marks on her head, and they didn't look for any marks on her head and see because
Didn't she have the
if
mark
she
on
was-
her eye?
but if that wouldn't have bled as much as she did in the kitchen.
No, but like, do you know when she hit it with the hammer or whatever it was she got out of the toolbox? The mark was still there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so surely...
which in theory should have gone down like 3 weeks later, but still.
Yeah, but that wasn't done in like a 3-week period. It was done in 1 month.
Okay, so 4 weeks.
No, but she did it, like...
Well, the one you're talking about, it was that when she got kidnapped. So
I
maybe
think
that.
she's gone for 39 days.
Yeah, but like... So she goes, and for the first week she like has nowhere to stay, pretty much. And then she moves to that like little cabin thing. Stays there for like, I don't know, 3-4 days. Gets her money taken. She goes to...
That's all in the first week, don't forget.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So then she gets, and then she goes to sleep in a car. I don't know for how long. And then she then goes to this club where then she sees Des.
She calls Desi.
Yeah,
And meets her at the club.
yeah. And then they go.
Because
But in the
obviously-
club, she still has the mark on her face.
Yeah.
So then, how long does she stay with Desi for then?
About 20 odd days.
Is it 20
It's
days?
something like that.
It
Yeah.
may be held a
Because
little
it
bit.
does.
Oh yeah.
There is a big skip. It goes from like day 7 to like day
Because she does
24.
change. I must admit, there was one scene, it then cut, and then went to another scene. And she had changed a lot, and I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah, because it's so much time later.
Right, okay, it kind of makes more sense now. But no, surely, if she could have used that as a reason for knocking her out.
How do you feel about that twist? An hour into the film where
Sooner than I knew the twist, but it was a lot sooner than I thought. I didn't realise the film would be cutting so back and forth between what she was doing. Because I always thought it was like...
It was good though.
It's a
like,
good
I
twist.
like it how they like told two stories at once. Pretty much.
I wasn't expecting that. I always thought
That
yeah.
is the book. To be fair, the book is written by the woman who wrote the screenplay for the film. She wrote the screenplay as well as the book.
That's probably why it's, yeah.
But when you read the book, like, the whole book is just the film, basically. I mean, she's a little bit more in your face in the film, but pretty much everything that happens in the film happens in the book. There are a couple of little details that they change, but it's not that much at all. It was one of the longest, easiest books I've ever read, because I don't really read a lot, and I was very reluctant to read this book, because I was a bit like, I don't know how I'm going to get on with this, but because it was pretty long as well, but it was so easy to read because I love the film so much. And I think most of the time, no, every time I read a book, it's based on a film that I've seen, because I find it easier to picture what I'm reading, because obviously I can put faces to the characters and stuff like that.
The film was, it was definitely something different.
Yeah. It's an interesting one.
Like again, at the start, obviously it tells you like, you know, how they got together. You know, life was perfect, and then it just went to shit pretty much.
Yeah.
Did you think it dragged at all?
No, not
didn't drag at
really.
all.
But like as much, I don't know how to say it. Like as much as it didn't look like there was a lot going on, it felt like there was a lot going on. Like because as it was trying to tell two different stories at once, like you were trying to follow one and then it just cut and then went to the other one, and then you're thinking, so what's this guy doing this time? Like, you know what I mean? If it makes any sense. So I don't know. It was really, really cool.
Well, I think the first hour of the film is telling the story of how they got together, or everything that happened between the two of them before she went missing, as well as telling like the first week of her going missing from Ben Affleck's point of view.
Yeah.
I must admit, it's my favourite Ben Affleck performance so far. I like him in that.
I would say it's
I like
probably
him
one of my favourite Ben Affleck films as well.
The thing is, though, for that entire film, I feel like his character knew that it was all a ruse. Because like, he just didn't seem arsed at all that she'd gone. Like, he didn't seem worried or panicked or anything. He just didn't seem bothered.
No.
So I feel like from the start, the moment she went, like, he knew it was all a game, pretty much.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like, it's in, like, even at the start, when, like, he first finds her gone.
He finds her gone.
Yeah. I don't know why.
He finds her missing.
Like, he's walking around the house all patiently, and then goes to the police station, and he's just sat there, like, all cool, and he's like, I think even the police officer said, your wife's missing, like, he doesn't even look bothered. And he doesn't really, does he?
Yeah, because he talks about being stuck in a Law and Order episode.
Yeah, he like, jokes about it almost. But then he even says, like, didn't he say, like, near the end of the film, that when he first walked into the house and she was gone, he felt relieved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could kind of tell that he wasn't asked.
Maybe that's why he didn't care so much, because he was a bit like, well, if she has been kidnapped, at least she's out of his life.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you have to realise that when you're watching the part of the story that tells you about how their relationship started to fall apart, this is all coming from the diary. I'm using quote marks again. This is all coming from the diary that Amy wrote.
Yeah.
So some of those bits didn't actually happen. So like the whole moment where she talks about wanting to have a baby and then he throws her against the stairs.
Yeah.
And she starts feeling afraid of him and all that sort of thing. That those bits didn't actually happen. They're just like the bits that she made up to make him look more like the bad guy.
Yeah.
But obviously at that point in the story we don't know that.
No.
The thing is, right, she said that she was planning, like, to go on the 5th anniversary. Was it 5th anniversary?
Yeah.
Yeah. She said she was planning to go and she had to write, like, 30 or 300?
300 entries.
300 entries, right? But did she write, like, she must have written it, like, a day or so, or 2 or 3 days before.
Oh yeah,
right?
she would have done it over.
Because on the film, right, she said she was going to write it as she was going, like she was explaining it, but as she was off, as she, like you see it go away, she then said, "Oh, I had to write 300."
Yeah, It didn't show it, but it did show a passage of time. It was a carefully
Yeah, I know.
planned-
I was like, I just couldn't tell. I was like, how she managed to do this in the
He
space of
did
like
say
3
she
hours?
liked to keep herself busy. He just probably just didn't know it
Yeah.
was for that.
You notice what kicked it all off in the first place? Did you guys pick up on that?
Was it when she caught him cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she
And they walked out the bar.
saw when she saw him with the girl Andy. That was when she was like, right. So I don't know. You don't know at what point in time that was.
Yeah.
But he said they were together for like 2 years or something.
A year and a half.
You know.
So she could have been planning it for at least a year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Considering they said, what was it, for their 4th anniversary, she sent him to like a dead rose bush as their hunts that they did,
Mm.
relationship hunt or whatever
Be
you
careful
call
with
it.
that word.
Hunt.
Yeah. I've slipped a few times.
It's alright. I just beeped it out in the last video. It's fine. I was willing to bet that was going to come up at some point in this video anyway. Considering there's only allegedly 2 reasons why the first Gone Girl, there's only one, isn't there?
There was only one Gone
Yeah.
Girl.
It's
Gone Girl?
alleged-
Gone Girl?
Gone
Two.
Girl
Gone
2,
again.
Gone Harder. There is allegedly only 2 reasons why it's an 18. Although I think that whole scene with her raping herself with a bottle, I thought that was quite strong. I don't know if you'd get away with that in the 15.
No, I don't think so either, to be honest. It wasn't nice to look at.
And to be fair, as silly as it sounds, I don't think when she kills Desi at the end, when they're having sex, I don't think that's violent enough to be an 18.
I think it's the context of the violence. They literally...
There was a lot.
There
was a lot.
There was a lot of blood.
A
But
lot
think
going
about
on.
it, she done it while they were having sex, that's probably something, and then how she acted, it was quite cold, premeditated and sadistic.
Do you know they shot that over 3 days?
Like I say, it's a very particular shot.
God, the amount of ketchup they had to waste.
I think I can't remember how many days, how many takes they took, but I know it was. I can't remember how many it was. I think it was like 32 or something like that. And they had to like clean up everything and change the bedding and everything every single time. Well, obviously
32 times.
it's mental. I'm pretty sure it's 32 because there's I watched some of the audio commentary. And that was one of the scenes I watched with the audio commentary on it. Finchar mentions how long it took them to shoot that bit. Because it's really funny, because literally just before that scene, there's a shot where you see Neil Patrick Harris just drive into the centre of the frame, stop the car and get out and go into the house. And in Finch's commentary he talks about how they did that in one take. And he's like, so everyone that takes the piss out of me for being obsessive, go fuck yourself. It's just really funny. That's one of the reasons why I think I want to watch this whole film with his commentary on, because if he makes little jokes like that all the way through, I'd probably enjoy that.
Because then you also get to see what we're going through their mind as
Then
they
we'll
were
do a
doing it.
commentary for Fight Club. That'd be interesting.
I'm pretty sure he's one of the directors that has commentary on most of his films, and it's usually like just him as well. There are sometimes there are separate commentaries that have other people as well.
Like the costume designer.
I don't think for 1 minute you'll have an audio commentary of his on Alien 3
No.
because he hates the film and wishes he never made it.
He really hates that film.
Which is a shame really, because I love that film. I know I'm pretty sure I mentioned that at the beginning, but I loved Alien 3. I thought it was great. It's one of my favourite films of his. I would like to get you guys on Seven and Zodiac and maybe come back and do a video on the 2 of them.
All his films are all fucky. Like, are they all? Are all his films basically like
I
mysteries?
guess
No.
I would say Seven and Zodiac are probably going to be the least fucky.
No.
Least fucky.
Okay, maybe not Seven.
No, definitely not Seven. Seven's definitely up there with his more messed up work.
What I mean by more fucky.
Stuff like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo shows you the most glorious karma that you'll ever see in a movie.
Nice. I know Seven's fucked up. I know that.
Seven's definitely up there. The game is a good film until it gets to the end. Without trying to spoil it, there's a twist at the end, and you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
Mm.
And then like for the rest of the film after the little twist, you're just like, no, this is just stupid now. Like no, no, you just like no. It's just why is this going on right now? Like I'm pretty sure everyone that I've watched the game with said that was alright till we got to the end. And it's true. I mean, I will still watch it. And if I ever do re-watches of David Fincher films, it's definitely one that I like watching. But it does annoy me when it gets to the end because I'm just like, I can't believe this film exists. How did the people watch that and be like, yeah, we'll distribute that for you. That was a good ending. I'm pretty sure that's based on a book as well. Panic Room and The Social Network and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button are probably his most mild films. Because I mean, The Social Network is just about Fight Club. Wait a minute. Let's try that again. The Social Network is just about.
I love it when Mark Zuckerberg brings it back to
Oh,
Garfield.
it's literally just how Facebook was made, and the legality behind the twisted things that allegedly happened as Facebook was created. But there's nothing. I'm pretty sure that's one of his only films. That's a 12 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Benjamin Button's a 12, but Benjamin Button's so yellow. I mean, David Fincher's got a thing for yellow filters in his films, as probably a lot of big David Fincher films would notice. It's either got a yellow filter or it's got a blue filter. Or if you watch The Girl with Dragon Tattoo, it's got both.
No.
There's a lot of yellow and blue in that. And rape.
Nice.
Yeah,
Right,
it gets a bit rapey, does The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
That one based on the book as well, isn't it?
Yes. It's also a remake of a Polish film.
Yeah.
I think it's Polish anyway.
It's Polish.
Something like that. But there was 3 of the originals.
Yeah.
Whereas they only did the first one. I think they were going to do all 3, but none of them wanted to do another one, so they didn't do any more.
Fair enough.
They did one years later,
Yeah, that was with Claire Foy.
which was to do with the girl with the spider's web, I think, or
yeah,
something
that's the
like that.
second one, I believe.
But that was just a completely separate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just looking up there at my Finchers. Yeah, don't watch Mank. I didn't like Mank at all. Out of all of his films, I think Mank was really boring.
That's about right.
And it's really boring because it's a boring film made about a really boring film being made. It's all built around a plot hole. Still annoys me, that film.
Oh, is that about the creation of Citizen Kane?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't watch Citizen Kane. I know that might give this video a couple of dislikes, but Citizen Kane is not. The whole film is based on a plot hole.
Oh, I do know Citizen
The
Kane.
whole film is based on a plot hole.
Oh,
A bit like the Rise of Skywalker.
No, it's based on that.
Jesus.
Citizen Kane is all about this man who dies and his dying words and what he says just before he dies. But when he dies and says his dying words, there's no one there. So no one would have known what he said.
Mm.
And then the whole film's based on that. And I didn't think it was very good. You mentioned 7 earlier, coming to 4K. As we do like talking about 4Ks on here.
Yeah, coming to 4K, I don't know when.
Coming to 4K, but yeah. Can you stop
Whenever the
saying
fuck
what
it
I'm
feels
thinking?
like it.
There are also rumours about Fight Club.
Yeah, it will make sense to do Fight Club this year because it's its 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
The only thing wrong with that is that we're not supposed to talk about it, so probably cut the first half of this
Yeah,
video
big
out.
hill now.
Well, we're not supposed to talk about how you're doing that, are you?
Yeah, and the second rule is we're not supposed to talk about.
Oh, we're doing that again, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do you know what the other rules are?
Third rule: if you're new, is that the third one?
That's the last rule.
Bollocks. No, I can't remember.
Pretty sure the third rule is no socks, no shirts, no shoes.
No shirts, no shoes,
no
no
shirts,
socks.
no shoes.
There's also, so like my
4 rule, 1 fight at a time.
yeah my girlfriend said that she found she read up that he only said those first 2 rules, and obviously in the film people talk about it to other people, which is why they join.
Yeah.
The first 2 rules are there to be broken.
Yeah.
Because the whole point is rules are there to be broken.
Well, he does bring it up later on in the film. Because
Yeah.
he says, I look around and I see a lot of new faces.
Yeah.
And everyone laughs and he's like, that means a lot of you have been breaking.
Yeah, but
the
rules are
first
there
two
to be
rules of
broken.
Fight
I
Club.
think.
That's the scene. That's one of the scenes that had to be cut in the 18 version when it
Why?
was first released. Because that's the scene when the bar owner comes down.
Yeah,
And he's
okay.
like, oh, you're in my bar. And then he starts beating up Brad Pitt. But that had to be cut down because Brad Pitt's really enjoying it. And he keeps encouraging him to hit him.
Yeah.
And the BBFC didn't like that.
But like the Joker when Batman, yeah, but it's right when the Joker does it to Batman. Batman's like driving to him. And
It's
he's
also
like,
less violent.
come on, hit me.
That's a bit different.
No,
Yeah, there was a
no,
bit of
no, I
blood
get
in
it.
that scene.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I don't think it was the blood.
I don't
that
think it
they had a
helped.
problem
I
with.
think it was just the fact that he just kept laughing.
No,
like,
but I think the blood helped it though.
It's the fact that he's just screaming, "Oh yeah!" He's just being punched in the face because he loves it.
doesn't he end up like pulling on his nuts or something. Right?
No, he flicks the blood from his nose all over the guy's face, and he's like coughing
Oh yeah.
coughing up his blood on him. Why that would convince you to let someone use your bar, I don't know, but still. What you rate these films in?
So
What
Fight
would you say was
Club.
better? I know they're
Oh,
different
that's
films, but
that's a difficult one.
For me, I prefer Fight Club, but it's not by a massive margin. Because I really enjoy Gone Girl, but I like Fight Club a bit more.
Yeah, I'd also probably say Fight Club, but because there's actually things going on in Fight Club, like visually, there's things going on.
Yeah.
It's
A bit more complex from
There's a lot more to look out for in Fight Club as well.
Yeah.
But with Gone Girl, it's just all sort of like
laid
it's
out for you.
technically being told for you. Like she's technically reading it all out to you.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
she's basically reading you the book.
Yeah, but like so Fight Club would probably be better.
Yeah, they're not like by massive margins. I just prefer Fight Club a little bit more.
See, could you technically like say if I rated Fight Club at like a I don't know, a 7, but I rated Gone Girl at like an 8, but I preferred to watch Fight Club. Would that make any sense?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, all because you think. I know it's got nothing to do with films, but like, there's a game, Final Fantasy. My favourite one's 7.
Can you not talk about
Shut
characters,
up.
please?
My favourite one's 7, but I think the 6th game is like the best game in the whole series. But my favourite one's still 7.
Yeah.
Oh, because you know one's better doesn't mean you enjoyed it more.
Yeah, I think I liked I liked obviously watching Gone Girl because it was actually interesting. But I think with Fight Club, I liked the little details and Easter eggs and shit like that. Yeah, I'm a big sucker for Easter eggs and details. So
I think Fight Club is one of those films that you could rewatch and look out for more. Whereas when you rewatch Gone Girl, there's not really, you don't really get a lot out of it the second time you see it, apart from the fact that you know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, Fight
So
Club's
like
more
little things like I
rewatchable.
mentioned earlier about her diary
Yeah.
and some of the beginning not being real, like you'll know that when you watch that the second time round. But
yeah,
besides that, there isn't a lot that you really look out for. Whereas with Fight Club, there's so many little things you can look out for. I still watch that film and try and see if I can spot a Starbucks cup in every scene. I'm not sure it's true. I think it's just a rumour. I'd like to watch that with commentary on as well. To be fair, I'd love to watch all of Fincher's films with commentary on. He's probably one of my favourite directors. He probably should be, to be fair. I watch his films a lot more than I do Wandering Home. Oh, that was it. So you guys... Oh, we would have covered that, it's right.
No.
I was going to say, did you pick up on what made Gone Girl 118?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we would have covered that.
don't.
no, go on, tell us again.
That violent bit. Or when she's horrible to him.
Which is horrible to him. What is on your guys' watch list currently? Something you've never seen before.
Well, me and Harry are
Obviously,
in
you
the process
said
of making a list so that we don't have to spend hours trying to decide what to watch. We need to sort that out at some point.
Yeah.
So it's going to take ages to sort this out. I think.
Yeah.
We've still got to watch Saw 10
Yeah, that's the last one I've got to watch and I'm caught up.
and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, why do you want to watch that film?
Do you like that film or something?
I like the film, but it's 5,000 hours long.
So watch
4
2
hours.
hours, stop and watch the.
No, if I'm watching a film, I don't go through it. I don't like stopping during the
That's a
film.
fair point.
To be fair, if you watch it on 4K Blu-ray, the film's split onto 2 discs anyway.
I know, but if I'm going to watch a film, I'm going to watch it all.
So it's a perfect excuse to split it up. Well, I feel like we've done well today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done pretty well.
Yeah.
Putting a good shift. So.
And there's not much that we need to cut out.
But yeah, so this will probably be the end. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
This is the end.
Yeah.
It's a decent film.
If you guys haven't
Ethan
finished,
hasn't seen it.
if you guys haven't finished your brews yet, just go and get another one because
Just top it up.
yeah,
Just
top
make
it
sure
up.
it's not Pepsi,
No.
because it could go all over the table.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, never come to Nathan's house because he will never offer you a drink. So
we've had 2 drinks since you've been here, so don't give me that.
I timed it. It took you 6
And
minutes to offer me a
M&Ms.
drink. Fuming.
And M&Ms and pancakes.
You force-fed Harry a whole bag of pancakes.
Some pizza.
No.
This is now no longer a movie podcast.
No.
We're now talking about food. Anyway,
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
thanks for coming for dinner.
If you could like this video
And
Be
dislike
nice.
and dislike it if
and
you
subscribe
really
to the
hate
channel
it.
if you haven't already.
Yeah, but if you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to.
Don't say things like that.
You don't have to.
Speaking of subscribers,
And if you
Actually,
want
we might
to,
mention
check
that.
out our sponsored website, stickysweatylube.com.
moving on.
I'll tell you what, if that is actually a site, we've given them a lot of traffic.
There we go.
So we're doing well. That's my paycheck collected for the week.
Anyway, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already,
I feel like the way you
and we're gonna fuck off.
check out our sponsor.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
You're not gonna say goodbye, Ethan.
That's so typical of you, Ethan. Not saying goodbye. 'Cause
So rude.
To the lovely people.
yeah.
Goodbye, people.
Bye.
Oh, so rude. Like, literally, we had to tell him. This
Just push stop.
just stop it.